This camisole is entirely made with Morandi No. 6 pearl white. Using a 3.0 crochet hook. Now let's look at the pattern. The pattern is a 4-row repeat. The starting chain is a multiple of 10 plus 9. So here, I started with 119 chains. After completing the 119 chains, add 3 turning chains. For a total of 122 stitches. The first row is worked entirely in double crochet. After finishing the double crochet row, again, start with 3 chains, then begin the pattern. The pattern consists of 7 double crochets, skip 1 stitch. Then in the 9th stitch, work 3 double crochets, skip the 10th stitch. Each pattern group has 10 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, skip the 8th stitch. In the 9th stitch, work 3 double crochets. The 10th stitch, skip 1 stitch. Continue with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then skip 1 stitch. 3 double crochets, skip 1 stitch. Repeat this pattern until the end. Once you finish the second row, turn it around and continue. The third row is also a full row of double crochets. At the end of the row, chain 3 and turn. After turning, we'll start the pattern for the 4th row. The 4th row's pattern starts with 2 double crochets. Begin with 2 double crochets, skip 1 stitch. 3 double crochets in 1 stitch, then skip 1 stitch. Continue as usual. 7 double crochets, skip 1 stitch. In the 9th stitch, make 3 double crochets. Then continue repeating like the second row. After completing the 4th row, one set of the pattern is complete. We need to crochet a total of 5.5 sets of this pattern. I have completed this part. The 5th row is a full row of double crochets. The stitch pattern for the 6th row is the same as the 2nd row. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 1 stitch. In the 9th stitch, crochet 3 double crochets. Skip 1 stitch. Continue with 7 double crochets. Crochet to the end in the same pattern as the 2nd row. Then the 7th row is like the 3rd row, with only double crochets. The 8th row is the same as the 4th row. 2 double crochets, skip 1 stitch. 3 double crochets, skip 1 stitch. Continue this pattern to the end of the 8th row. It's the same as the 4th row, just like the 4th row. After finishing 5 sets of petal patterns, there will be 22 rows. Row 22 is here. After completing 5 sets of petal patterns, we need to continue with a full row of double crochets, which will be row 23. After finishing row 23, we'll begin the mesh pattern. First, chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the 2nd stitch. Into the 2nd stitch here. Make a double crochet. And that completes our first mesh square. Skip 1 stitch on the left. Double crochet. Repeat this pattern until we reach the end. The next row follows the same pattern. After completing 2 rows of mesh, we'll turn the work without cutting the yarn. First, make a single chain. And insert the hook here. Make a single crochet. The position of the second stitch is here. 2, 3, 4. Continue this pattern to the end. In the last stitch here, make an extra single crochet in this stitch. Next, make a chain and turn. Make a single crochet in each stitch. Do the same on the other side. Then, fold it in half like this. To find the center point. The center point is here. Mark it with a stitch marker. Now, turn it over. Starting from the first stitch. From here to about this point. We're going to create a gathered or pleated effect. Pinch it like this. And then like this. Create a pleat. Pass the needle through repeatedly. This will create a pleated effect here. Then take this yarn. And hide the yarn afterward. The center point is now secured. Next, we'll determine the position of the straps and the shoulder strap placement. After arranging it like this side will be the front. The position of the shoulder straps will be approximately with the front center here, and we'll divide this side into 3 parts. Position the straps roughly at the outer 1/3 section. This part will also be divided into thirds. Around this area, you can use stitch markers to secure them temporarily. The front and back should align. The back position is here. Once pinned in place, you can try it on and mark with a pen if needed, to see if the position is to your liking. For the shoulder straps, it's straightforward. Start with a simple chain of approximately 90 stitches. Make 4 identical straps. When starting the chain, leave yourself a long enough tail, about this length, to easily secure it in place. On the main body. For the back strap position, you can slightly adjust it outward, since we need to leave space here for the ribbon. The strap position will be approximately around here. Find the marked position around this area. You can sew it on according to your preference. As long as it's securely fastened, it's fine. The other 3 straps should be attached in the same way. Sew them all on, and the main part of the straps will be complete. Now let's move on to the floral section. Once the main body is complete, we can start working on the flowers. These 2 flowers start with the same number of stitches. These 2 flowers also start with the same count. The smallest 2 have the same starting stitch count. The 2 larger flowers start with 70 stitches. These 2 start with 49 stitches. These 2 start with 39 stitches. I'll demonstrate with this 39 stitch flower. For an example, one 5 1 4 1 5 1 6 1 7 1 8 1 9 2 2 3 8 4 2 5 6 8 7 2 8 2 9 3 0. Now, I've started with 39 stitches here. The flower size depends on the starting stitch count. In the 3rd stitch, make a double crochet. Then chain 1. Skip 1 stitch. Double crochet in the next stitch. Then chain 1. Repeat this pattern until the end. Once you finish this row, start with 2 turning chains and turn your work to make 6 double crochets. Place 6 double crochets in the same stitch. In the next stitch, make a single crochet in this space. And continue to the next space. 6 double crochets. Single crochet in the space. Like this. Alternate single and repeat double crochet this to the end. Finish with a stitch that looks like this. Then cut a long piece of yarn. Let's sew the flower together. Shape it like this. Roll it up. You can either sew as you roll it up, or roll it all up first and then sew it. Bring the thread through from this opening. Pull it tightly. Repeat like this. Thread it through the flower. The steps for making each flower are the same except for stitch count. Everything else is identical. The remaining yarn will be used to sew it and secure it onto the main body. Find the flower with 70 stitches. Let's first determine its placement. Position it on the front strap here, so that half of it is on the strap and half is on the mesh, over 2 rows of mesh. You can use a marker clip to hold it in place. Attach it like this on the strap. This is the position of the first flower. A flower goes below this area, right around here. For the 49 stitch flower, approximately below it diagonally, above here. Also on the strap. Secure it here. This flower is not centered, but slightly inward. The 39 stitch flower goes over 2 mesh squares. Half is on the mesh, and the other half goes above here, close to this area. The other 49 stitch flower and the other 70 stitch flower go towards the lower mesh area, closer to the center point, approximately around here. The final 39 stitch flower is placed here. You can secure it with a marker clip first. Then use a needle and thread to sew it in place. Sew it securely, and the entire strap assembly is complete.